So Mir, what do you think the shimmy game is going to be like in Street Fighter 6?
That's a very tough question because of based of the information that we have so far, how different it is from Street Fighter 5.
It's such an important thing in Street Fighter 5 too. Capcom has to have been like watching this footage and thinking about how is it going to affect Street Fighter 6, in general. I think the shimmy itself is going to be more punishing and rewarding, but I think the whole knockdown, throw, shimmy, meaty game is going to be a lot more fair, I guess. I don't know, more even, but obviously I don't know. Haven't played the game, but looking at all the mechanics, that's where I'm thinking about. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I would say that I feel like a lot of people are kind of tired of the way it is in Street Fighter 5, where shimmy game is extremely prevalent because of the overall lack of defensive options, even though they've been increased over the course of the game. With Street Fighter 6, we already see that we have a lot to work with from the get-go,
Right.
and in general it seems like they are trying to move away from that because they probably got the feedback that a lot of people, they're kind of tired of it. Maybe it's not necessarily that they didn't like it in the first place, but we got to the point where after years and years of Street Fighter 5, we just want something different. So I'm sure that they will try to not make it as prevalent, even though it might still exist.
What do you think of Daigo getting thrown 10 times in a row? Like all the time. Players taking throws. Is that silly to you?
Well, the concept of taking a throw because it's the least damaging option is kind of silly in the sense that you really shouldn't be forced into taking damage as your most favorable option.
I tried to explain that to my
Mm.
brother, and he just really doesn't like that idea. Like, it doesn't make sense to him at all. Like, he thinks it's just stupid, from a casual
Yeah.
point of view. And I can see that.
No, I understand it myself. I think ideally the safest option should be the possibility of taking the throw.
Right.
But instead, you really are put in a situation where taking the throw is even more dangerous than actually, like just taking it.
Right. Well, let's just break it down for people to understand, like for Street Fighter 6. And first off, if you guys don't know what shimmy is, it's basically when you bait a throw by using movement, like walking back, going out of throw range, and they go, ugh, and then you punish them for it. And it just starts up this whole meta. And for Street Fighter 6, some key differences. Well, one is that now when someone whiffs a throw or recovers from anything and you hit them, you're going to get a punish counter. And there's a lot of key buttons in this game that basically act as crush counters now. And you get a really big reward, a bigger combo, more damage, and you drain their drive gauge, which is really scary. And one of the biggest punish counters that you get is a throw. Like you get a huge. The camera zooms into mirrors like all like wild, and it does like double damage. And the forward throws seem to be really close in this game,
And it
and it just
forces a
it just seems
hard
scary.
knockdown.
Right. That's why I'm saying the shimmy itself is more rewarding. But there's some other things that I feel like will make it more balanced. One of them is, did you see the tech throws, mirror? How far away the characters separate?
Yeah, they really wanted to make sure that the characters are reset to neutral. Like actually so far where
It's
there's
not
no
even
guessing game at
neutral.
all.
Would you even call that neutral? It's more like on the other side of like Jupiter. Like they're
I
out
mean,
of.
that's what neutral is.
I guess, right? I mean, unless you're
Like
a
in
zoner, then you'll be licking your lips. It's so far away. They're completely out of dash range for one.
Mhm.
It's wild how far. Like it's so jarring when you see it. On top of that, when you throw someone in this game, a lot of people have been mentioning this, that when you see a throw, you can back rise a throw. But when you
Yeah.
punish counter as a throw, you get the hard knockdown, which means they can't back rise, but they can quick rise in Street Fighter 6. So now it's like if you throw somebody, it's not as bad. They can back rise out of it, and it's okay. They're not going to get throw looped. However, if you succeed in baiting the throw or you punish someone with a throw, it's even more scary now because you get the double damage, you drain their drive gauge, and they're right next to you because it's okay to make the throws right next to you in Street Fighter 6 because you would be able to back rise.
Mhm.
That was a huge problem with Street Fighter 5. They had to change so many throws in the game to not have throw loops. There even is some like pseudo throw loops that still exist in Street Fighter 5 to this day. It's just that dashes are so hard to react to. They're like pseudo throw loops because you can dash and be like -2. You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, even walk up throw loops in the corner, they still kind of exist. I mean, they're not the throw loops of the kind that will beat every normal, but
Yeah.
they're fast enough where they're difficult to deal with still.
Oh yeah, man. Ibuki, Akuma, those are like two characters off the top of my head that can walk up throw you to oblivion.
Mhm. I think something that's very important though about Street Fighter 6 that is worth mentioning is that compared to Street Fighter 5, where the throw bait scenario happens at very, very short range because throws don't have that much range. In Street Fighter 6, it will happen further away because throws do have much more range. So if you're attempting a shimmy by walking in and walking out, if you do it too carelessly and you're too close, you're still gonna get thrown. In Street Fighter 5, it's really, really easy to outrange throws, especially with characters that have good movement. So that's another thing to keep in mind. Basically, it limits the amount of normals that you get to use to punish the throw whiff because you have to be further away simply because of that, right? So you'll have to use slower normals that have more range as opposed to maybe your combo starter like you would be able to do in Street Fighter 5 because you're just so close.
Whenever I'm playing against a Bison player and he's going for shimmies, the throw range is like you just see it, right? Even though his walk speed is really slow. So the way the
Mhm.
shimmy game works with Bison is just a little bit different. You gotta walk back a little further. At the same time, Bison shimmies are really strong as well because if everyone's throw range is further, then as long as you have time to move back earlier after a throw or a knockdown, that can also make the shimmies really scary because now when the opponent is walking away, you're still scared. You still have to press throw because his range is further. And that also means that they don't have to walk as close. Like if I'm walking towards you, the threat of you being in throw range of me is going to be earlier. It's like almost as if the shimmy, the positions that the two characters are just going to separate a little further and they'll kind of stay the same. It just
That
kind of
is true.
depends how much frame advantage
But
you have.
you get a situation where walking back is a safer option, basically,
Hmm.
because while it's true that the throw has more range, and as such, if you're holding back while they're walking towards you to throw you, they might still get to throw you because the range is so much.
Yeah,
Normals overall, although they are less stubby than Street Fighter 5, according to
way less
the
stubby.
various
It
yeah,
seems.
according to the various reports that we've heard about the game and what we've seen,
Yeah.
you're still gonna be safer. Like the combo starters, they're not gonna be long range. Like from what we've seen, Chun Li has that I think it's standing medium punch or back medium punch. You know that elbow that she does that barely has any range. Ryu standing medium punch doesn't have a lot of range. Those are the normals that you really get a combo out of, right? Like a big combo.
Yeah.
So I think they're really pushing the fact that you really need to score the punish counter with something that will give you a combo. And so you're specifically looking for this throw bait situation, or you're just gonna get something a little bit minor, I guess, like for someone that's just trying to walk away from you with
Or they
crushing
want to
medium kick fireball, for example.
or they want to force you to use drive rush to convert it somehow from something really far away.
Yeah.
That's another thing as well. Well, let's think about what are the options like because we have so many more options now in Street Fighter 6. Like what is throw actually gonna beat? It's gonna beat wake up buttons. It's gonna beat wake up parry. Throws beat drive impact.
Hmm.
Technically, they're gonna beat drive reversal. So throws are gonna beat a lot. Do we even know if you backdash if it's throw invincible or not?
I mean, we don't even know if it is actually invincible at all for the reports that we have so far. I honestly don't know. I'm really curious for a variety of reasons, but I would assume that the backdash at least works the same as Street Fighter 5. It might be better than Street Fighter 5, but I doubt that it is worse.
Yeah.
It seems like the Street Fighter 5 backdash is like the worst we've had in a long time. I don't think they're gonna nerf it even more.
Mm-hmm. So to break down the whole shimmy game in Street Fighter 6, when you knock somebody down, so they're really scared of getting punish countered, shimmied, right? But in Street Fighter 5, like you said, you players would just simply take the throw most of the time, especially if their V trigger is up or there's something really threatening that can take off like half their health. But in Street Fighter 6, if you take the risk of trying to tech the throw and you delay tech or whatever, if you do tech the throw, you get an amazing reward because both characters launch to the other sides of the screen and you're completely in neutral. Like you're
Yeah.
out. It's done. It's over. There's nothing else. It's good. So it's the reward is there,
Hmm.
which is
Absolutely. It goes
nice.
back to what I was saying, where teching the throw should be the safest option. And in this sense, maybe it is not the safest, but it is one of the more rewarding ones in the sense that if you actually do commit to teching the throw and it works out, then like you said, you're back to neutral. But neutral, like real neutral, like not Street Fighter 5 where I can still get swept
Yeah.
or uh, things like that, right?
But I was scared too because when I realized that you can back rise from throws, I was like, oh no, like we're gonna have a timer situation here because there's no chip damage And back rising throws, I'm getting cross Tekken vibes. I'm just like, I mean, we don't want the Vortex game to be on everyone, but at the same time, we don't want it too easy as well to go to neutral too many times. But the
You could
punish counter
compare.
is what solves the problem, because when you land the punish counter throw, it's perfect. They can't back rise like Street Fighter 5. You get the crazy damage bonus, and you're in throw loop. You're in a throw loop situation. You're back in the exact same situation. I actually really love the idea. Like, it seems like Capcom put a lot of thought into this.
Well, another thing that I guess it's worth mentioning is that all of these alternative wake up options that they give you, they're mostly back rolls, pretty much, back rises. And what that means is that it's easier to push yourself in the corner because you have so many situations where you are incentivized to back rise. Because if you quick rise, you're very close to the opponent and you're in that kind of like pseudo throw loop situation. So it seems that Street Fighter 6 is really based a lot around the fact that you want to push your opponent in the corner because a lot of the universal mechanics that are available in this game are more effective in the corner, and you limit your opponent's wake up options because obviously if someone back rises in the corner, they're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
In fact, assuming that it works like Street Fighter 5 where it's delayed a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
you get even more time to push an offensive situation in the corner.
Yeah.
So I think they really wanted this dynamic where you have a lot of defensive options. Like for example, the drive reversal is an option that you can use if you successfully block to get out of a situation like this. You obviously have the parry, drive impact, all of this, right? They give you a lot of defensive options, but it's very punishing if you push yourself in the corner by trying and
Yeah.
playing it safe. Basically, they want you to take action.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just passively trying to walk away from the opponent. It just puts you in a very dangerous situation because even if you block correctly, the drive impact can still stun you in the corner. So I think that's what they're really going for. It's more like losing position because of the safer wake up options. It goes with the concept of risk reward that they're really pushing with this game,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, I don't think the timer will be an issue because there's also the wake up parry, which was really scary as well. I have a lot of people asking me too, like, what's the point of blocking when you can just parry in Street Fighter 6? There's no point of blocking anymore. But the obvious answer is that you can't tech throws while you're parrying. You can only tech throws when you're blocking.
Yeah.
So you have to commit. And I think people are going to realize that on day one, especially if they play somebody with, basic fundamentals of bait, throw, meaty. Throw is the most common Oki option in Street Fighter. It's just such a big part of the game is throws. So I'm really interested in seeing how this whole shimmy meta is going to affect Street Fighter 6 in general, because it's funny. I'm like, man, Street Fighter 5 is just so, the threat of the shimmy is just so strong, and seeing these players getting thrown all day for free, seeing it kind of be even more scary in Street Fighter 6 was funny to me. But now, like I said, there's key differences like the tech throw, how far they go, the back rise on the normal throw, and
Yep.
the different new defensive options in the game.
In general, I guess we could summarize this with the fact that they give you more options, and each individual option is more effective. But in case you get it wrong, then the punish is also more dangerous.
Right.
So basically, you have more choice, but the risk is not necessarily augmented because we really don't know how much damage will a shimmy effectively deal,
Yeah.
right? Even with the punish counter, it doesn't necessarily mean that it could lead to a huge damage situation like it was sometimes in Street Fighter 5, right?
Yeah.
So maybe it's not going to be as damaging, but at the same time, at least you never find yourself in a situation where you basically are just out of options. Like, oh, I'm just gonna take the throw because that's the safest thing.
Hmm.
You always have something to do, which
Yeah,
is
that'd be
good. I
silly.
think like it promotes interaction.
Right. Guys, let us know in the comments below. What do you think about this whole shimmy game for Street Fighter 6? How do you think it's going to go compared to Street Fighter 5? Do you think it's a lot more balanced now, how they're handling tech throws and how throws no longer cause a hard knockdown? Let us know. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Take care.
Bye bye.